Impact Wrestling spoilers from Toronto. Former WWE champion returns to TV, Michael Elgin, Rebellion. Trey vs Jake Lander. Trey wins with a top. Unbreakable Michael Elgin comes down to a big ovation. Elgin said it's a Ace Austin vs Petey Williams. Ace fakes a hand W/the Undead Breeze made on a collar vs Kiera Hogan. Rosemary Knox vs Phoenix. Eddie twice former champion is next to a big ovation and welcome. One contenders match for the Impact World title. Johnny Impact vs Michael Elgin vs Elgin wins with a huge lariat, buckle bomb, and the Elgin bomb on Johnny. Excellent match. Non-title tag team match. They is down, first to join Don Josh on commentary. Versus Killer Cross vs Tyson Ducks. Cross dominated vs Alexa Nicole. Grace toys with Nick. Gama Singh is out next and calls Toronto a great city but not as good as London, Paris, and Tokyo, and follows that up by saying the Leafs are good, but not as good as the Bruins to Big Heat. He then introduces all. 8-man tag match. X Division champion Rich Swann, Willie Mack, W/Scarlett Boudreaux vs Dave Christ, Madman Fulton Sami Callihan in a no DQ match. All kinds of weapon. Impact Wrestling spoilers from Toronto. Former WWE champion returns to TV, Michael Elgin, Rebellion. Bray Wyatt's new fun. WWE live event results from Huntington. 4/29 Kofi Kingston defends, Charlotte Flair attacks, more. The Hardy Boys to address the rumors and Jeff Hardy's status on WWE SmackDown. Steel cage match announced for WWE Money in the Bank. Alexa Bliss reveals more WWE Money in the Bank names. WINC Podcast 4/29 WWE Raw Review with Matt Morgan, Stomping Grounds PPV, MITB entrance. WWE moves another tag team from SmackDown to Raw. Impact Rebellion results. NWA Crockett Cup results. Backstage news on Vince McMahon denying Luke Harper his WWE release while allowing Goldust to leave. WWE Raw results, your feedback. Impact Rebellion results. Bray Wyatt makes fun of his new WWE merchandise. Possible WWE Money in the Bank rumor killer. Cody Rhodes responds to Triple H's diss. Liv Morgan says that she broke her toe. Alexa Bliss brings up Sasha Banks Bailey drama.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park,